let's dive into a really powerful Japanese study routine. Seriously, this is a system that's not just about learning something for a test, but about remembering it for good. You know the feeling, right? You pull an all-nighter, you study for hours, you feel like you finally got it locked in, and then you wake up the next morning and it's just gone. It's like your brain just decided to hit the eject button. But here's the thing, that has nothing to do with how smart you are. It's all about the method. So, while we're struggling to remember things from yesterday, get this. In Japan, students are expected to memorize over 2,000 complex kanji characters just to graduate. And we're not talking about just for the test. They remember them for life. So you have to ask, how on earth do they do that? Well, the secret isn't about grinding harder or forcing your brain into submission. It's actually about finding a rhythm, a routine that works with your brain's natural ability to learn and remember. It's a system that's broken down into 3 parts, and it all kicks off the second you wake up. See, most of us think learning starts when we open a book or a laptop, but this routine shows us that's way too late. The most important work you can do happens before you even start studying. It's all about priming your brain. I love this quote because it just perfectly captures the whole idea. You can't just flip a switch and expect your brain to learn. You've got to create the right conditions first. If you prepare the soil of your mind, new information actually has a chance to take root and grow. And this isn't just some nice-sounding idea, there's actual science behind it. Look at this, and what's crazy is how simple it is. We're not talking about a killer workout here. We're talking about just 10 minutes of light movement, a short walk, a few stretches. That's enough to get the blood flowing and give your memory a serious boost. So it all comes together in this simple 4-step morning ritual. First, you get some natural light to tell your brain, hey, it's time to wake up. Then that gentle movement we just talked about. Next, and this is clever, you do a quick recall of yesterday's stuff. You're strengthening the old connections before you build new ones. And finally, a moment of ritual stillness, something as simple as just organizing your desk. It's a signal to your brain that says, okay, pay attention, this moment matters. All right, so the brain is primed. Let's move into the afternoon, which is the main study session. But again, this is not about a long, painful marathon of cramming. It's about working smarter, using these focused little bursts of effort. This slide lays it out perfectly. On the left, you've got what most of us do, the cramming marathon. It's exhausting, and honestly, the returns get worse over time. But on the right, you have the rhythm, short, focused sprints, about 40 minutes of intense focus, followed by a 10-minute break. This whole cycle respects your brain's natural energy levels, which means you can be consistent instead of just burning out. Now, those 10-minute breaks are absolutely crucial. They are not wasted time. This is key. While you're up stretching or getting some water, your brain's memory center, the hippocampus, is working in the background. It's literally replaying and organizing what you just learned. That little pause is just as productive as the studying itself. The afternoon is also where this powerful technique called spaced repetition comes in. So instead of just reading the same chapter over and over, you review the information at these very specific, increasing intervals. Each time you force your brain to pull that memory up, you're carving that pathway a little deeper, telling it, hey, this is important stuff. It's so much more effective than just passive reading. And the last piece of this afternoon puzzle is all about your body. Focus isn't just about willpower. This routine is big on eating light meals, so you avoid that dreaded food coma after lunch. It also encourages these little micro pauses, even just a single deep breath, to hit the reset button on your attention. The idea is so simple. A steady body creates a steady mind. Okay, now we're at the final, and you could argue the most critical part of the day. You're done studying, but the work isn't over. The night is when your brain decides what to keep and what to toss. This is where you literally seal in the knowledge. So instead of scrolling on your phone right before bed, this routine has you do a quick 10-minute review of everything you learned that day. Why? Because that simple little act sends a massive signal to your brain. It's basically a direct order. This stuff is important, keep it. This is the absolute perfect metaphor for it. All the work you did during the day, it's like an unsaved document. That quick review before you fall asleep, that's you hitting the save button. If you don't do it, you're risking losing all of it overnight. And once you've hit save, deep sleep takes over. It is the ultimate study hack. While you're sleeping, your brain gets to work reorganizing everything, strengthening the important stuff, and clearing out all the junk. And that's exactly why good sleep hygiene, like putting away your screens an hour before bed, is completely non-negotiable in this system. And the way you end the day really leans on 2 beautiful Japanese principles. First, Kaizen, this idea of small, constant improvement. You end with a tiny win, like just reviewing one single flashcard. And second, Ma, which means embracing the space between things, giving yourself a few minutes of quiet stillness. It builds a bridge from your busy day to a night of rest. So, you see, when you put all these pieces together, the morning prep, the afternoon sprints, the nightly review, you don't just have a random list of tips. You have a complete, powerful rhythm for learning. So let's just recap the whole cycle one more time. In the morning, you prime the brain. You prepare the soil. In the afternoon, you plant the knowledge using those structured bursts. And at night, you seal it all in with review and good sleep. And the real magic? It comes from doing this over and over with consistency. And here's maybe the most important thing to remember. The students who master this system don't have some kind of secret advantage or a bigger brain. They don't have magical powers. What they have is a better method, a system that actually works with how our brains are designed to work. It's something anyone can learn. And that really brings us to the final thought. The big takeaway here is that you probably don't need to find more hours in your day to study. You just need a better rhythm for the hours you already have. So the real question is, what will you do with it?